Do you know that the secret to captivating any audience, influencing others, and making a lasting impression has nothing to do with charisma? It's not even confidence. And it's definitely not your PowerPoint slides. It's something so old, so simple, yet so powerful, it predates written language. Stories. That's right. Stories rule the world. And yet most people treat storytelling like some fluffy skill reserved for authors, actors, or ad agencies. Big mistake. In a world obsessed with data, dopamine, and attention spans shorter than a TikTok, your ability to tell a compelling story might just be your most important skill. And no, you don't need to be a best-selling author, a TED Talk veteran, or have Morgan Freeman's voice. You just need 5 key simple storytelling techniques that can help you sell better, teach clearer, inspire deeper, and, yes, even flirt smoother. Because storytelling doesn't live on paper, it lives in connection. So let's dive in. But first, be warned. Some of what you believe about storytelling, it's wrong, and we're about to break it wide open. Section 1. Set the scene. Make them see it. Here's the truth. The best stories don't just begin, they transport you. You're not just hearing them, you're in them. Consider this. He walked into the room. Now compare that with, he pushed open the heavy oak doors. The smell of chalk and burnt coffee hit him as he stepped inside the old lecture hall. You felt that, didn't you? The creak of the door, the smell, the atmosphere. You arrived. You see it. You smell it. And you're in it. That's the goal. That's the power of setting. By painting a quick, vivid scene using a few sensory details, you're not just telling your audience a story, you're inviting them to step inside. And once they're in, they're not leaving. But listen, don't turn this into Tolkien fanfiction. You're not building a Trump wall. Think of setting like painting with just 3 brushstrokes, enough to spark imagination, not suffocate it. A sound, a smell, a texture. That's all it takes to go from boring to immersive. Section 2. Action over description. Motion creates emotion. Once you've set the scene, you need to make it move. A story that stands still dies. It turns into a lecture. And nobody shows up to a lecture on purpose. So stop telling us what a character feels. Show us what they do. Don't say, he was scared. Instead say, his hands shook, sweat slid down his back as he reached for the handle. Now that's a scene. That's motion. That's emotion. Action isn't about what happens. It's about what we feel while it's happening. Great stories have motion, and motion is emotion. The brain is hardwired to pay attention to movement. We evolved to notice rustling bushes, sprinting predators, subtle shifts in body language. So use that. Your story should move through strong, specific verbs. Shoved, raced, whispered, collapsed. Avoid lazy fillers like was walking or did something. Be sharp, be precise. Don't say, she walked quickly. Say, she darted across the room. Don't say, he spoke softly. Say, he murmured like he was telling a secret the walls weren't allowed to hear. Every word is a chance to keep people leaning forward or tune them out completely. And remember this rule: boring is invisible, action is irresistible. Section 3. Inner thoughts, the unseen truth. Here's where we break the biggest myth of all. Storytelling isn't just about what happens. It's about what it means to the person it's happening to. The inner monologue, the quiet voice inside. You want to build connection. Get raw, get real, get internal. I didn't know if I could pull this off, but I had to. Because if I didn't, everything I'd worked for would come crashing down, and I'd have nothing left but the echo of a dream. That's not action. That's vulnerability. And people crave that. You've just taken an internal human experience and made us feel it too. And when you open the door to your thoughts, or your character's thoughts, you invite the audience to see themselves in the story. People don't connect to perfect heroes. They connect to flawed humans with doubts, fears, regrets, and quiet hopes they're afraid to say out loud. The inner voice makes your story relatable. It makes it human. And when you share that vulnerability, something wild happens. The audience leaned in and be like, "Oh wow, that's me too." Because deep down, we're all a little anxious, a little ambitious, and we're all a bit of a mess. So don't just show us what your character does. Show us what they believe and what they fear, because that's where stories live. Section 4. Emotion. Don't say it. Make us feel it. Let me say this loud for the people in the back. Emotion is the heartbeat of every great story, but it has to be shown, not stated. She was sad. That's not storytelling. It's a headline. Her jaw tightened. Her hands gripped the steering wheel. She forgot to breathe. Now we see it. Now we feel it. Emotions aren't words. They're body language, tone, and silence. Emotion is not a label, it's a feeling. And feelings are physical. Tears welled up in her eyes. His jaw tightened until his teeth ached. She laughed, but it came out too sharp, like a glass cracking under pressure. This is where storytelling becomes cinematic. You're not just writing, you're directing. Use the body. Use breath. Use silence. Emotion isn't always loud. Sometimes it's still. Sometimes it's in what isn't said. A twitch, a blink, a pause that lasts just a little too long. And here's your secret weapon: tension. When two emotions pull in opposite directions, like love and fear or anger and guilt, that's where people feel the most. And remember, we don't mirror what's told to us. We mirror what's shown. So let them feel it, because if they feel nothing, they forget everything. Section 5. Dialogue, the voice of real people. Dialogue is where most stories go to die, because too many people write what they think humans sound like. If your dialogue sounds like it belongs in a legal contract, you're doing it wrong. I cannot permit you to proceed any further. Nobody talks like that unless they're a robot from a 1997 video game. Now try this. Oh hell no, you're not going in there. Which one feels like a real person? Dialogue should feel like eavesdropping, messy, snappy, unpredictable. People interrupt each other, they hesitate, they trail off. They don't always say what they mean. So stop writing courtroom speeches. Write conversation. Test this. Say your dialogue out loud. Record yourself. If it sounds stiff or fake, it probably is. Good dialogue has rhythm, conflict, wit, honesty, even silence. A glance, a smirk. A 3-second pause can hit harder than a monologue. So let your characters speak like people. That's where the magic happens. Storytelling is not a talent, it's a tool. Now let's address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, this is cool, but I'm not a storyteller, I'm not creative, I just work in finance, or sales, or tech, or whatever. Wrong. Storytelling is not a talent, it's a tool. If you talk to people, you're a storyteller. If you pitch, present, lead, persuade, parent, date, explain, or teach, you're already telling stories. The question is, are you doing it well? Landing a job? You need a story. Raising money? You need a story. Asking someone for a second chance? You definitely need a story. And that better be a good one. We're all storytellers, we're just not trained in it. But you're learning now. And it's not complicated, it's the opposite. It's about clarity, emotion, and truth. Now let's cut through the noise. You don't need fancy tools, expensive courses, or a dramatic life to tell great stories. If you want people to pay attention, you just need to remember these 5 simple things. A place we can see, actions we can feel, thoughts we can share, emotions we can experience, voices we can believe. That's it. That's storytelling. That's your ancient superpower. So the next time you speak, sell, teach, pitch, or want someone to actually listen, don't just give them facts, give them a story. If this helped you tell stories with more impact, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, subscribe, and share this with someone whose storytelling could use a serious upgrade. And tell me in the comments, what's the best story you've ever heard? Or your favorite storytelling trick? Because your next story might just change someone's life, maybe even your own.